Welcome back to our series comparing Jira Service Management to ServiceNow, examining key areas which are important elements of any enterprise service management solution. And I think you'll be surprised at how well Jira addresses these. If you missed earlier episodes, I encourage you to watch those, which you can access using the links shown. The focus of this series is to highlight Jira's capability as an enterprise service management solution, competing directly with expensive solutions like ServiceNow, delivering the same or better capability at a fraction of the price. Today I'll be comparing asset management. We have a detailed comparison report which you can download using the link shown, and I'd encourage you to have a look at that. Asset management is hugely important for an enterprise. A typical organisation will have 2 or 3 managed assets per employee. For example, a computer, phone and access credential. Then there are many IT system assets like servers, applications, software licenses, etc. Very quickly you get to many hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of assets. IT leaders know very well the cost of not managing the life cycle of these assets effectively. In fact, we see in many project situations, it's the business case for asset management that's used to justify an entire enterprise management solution project. So let's compare asset management between Jira and ServiceNow. Here you can see asset management in ServiceNow. The navigation pane shows you a defined asset schema hierarchy. The main window shows an example of a configured hardware asset with a range of tabs for different information and related or linked assets shown at the bottom. All this is certainly sufficient for enterprise-level asset management. Now let's have a look at asset management in Jira. Here we can see a typical configuration for assets. On the left navigation you can see the asset hierarchy, which can be easily configured. We can change the hierarchy by simply dragging and dropping asset categories around like this. It's a really useful feature which you won't see in other solutions. Now let's look at a particular asset class, say server. We have one asset created and the main window shows us all the relevant information we're tracking. This is all configurable and we can show as much or as little information as we like. We can print asset labels and QR codes here, and we can see tickets in Jira that relate to this asset. Now, one of the unique aspects of Jira's asset capability is the graph feature, which shows a graphical representation of assets related to this asset. We can see that this specific server has a physical relationship to a business service and a functional relationship to staff. The relationship lines are configured to use different colours to convey different relationship types. This feature is a great help to agents that need to identify related assets when, say, planning a change or resolving a high priority outage. We can look at the relationship map at the parent server level, which shows a broader set of relationships for all servers. And we can drag these objects around to easily see all the relationships. We can also hover over a link to see the name of any relationship type. And finally, we can go to the very top level of the asset hierarchy to see the full set of relationships. So that's a quick comparison of the configuration and agent use of assets. Now we can go beyond the configuration of assets into the real power of Jira, and that's the incorporation of asset management processes with ITSM to deliver enterprise asset management outcomes. It's important to understand the context of asset management with service management, and as you can see here, it's a fundamental enabler. Everything in our delivery of service is supported by some type of asset, and by using Jira we can manage them effectively and efficiently in a single system. Now, each organisation has a different journey when it comes to managing assets and how deeply it should integrate this with IT service management. There's a simple continuum that I like to use. There's no right or wrong, other than acknowledging that the further you can move to the right, the level of benefit you'll deliver to your organisation will increase and in fact skyrocket. However, the important aspect here is that it makes sense to stage your movement along this maturity path. You need to conquer configuration management first, and for most organisations, this is often the most effort and most painful. Once you're ready to tackle asset management processes, the power and flexibility of Jira will shine. Systemology has developed a unique design process that we take our clients through to review and design processes and workflow that we then implement in Jira. Here we can see one recent example where we determined the overall asset lifecycle for a client, going from cradle to grave. Here we break down each step into its own process map, which might look something like this. In this example, we need to understand the role of different domains, such as IT service management, which will handle the customer request process, IT asset management, which will handle asset provisioning, finance management, which will procure the assets, etc. All of these teams can use Jira to manage their process such that it's all interconnected. Then we configure the workflow in Jira to support, say, the asset order management process as shown here. This workflow connects to other processes used in Jira, such as the customer request process. And this highlights one of the most important features of Jira Service Management, and that is that your license cost allows you to create an unlimited number of separate service desks, which can all be connected. So you can see how IT, finance, procurement all can have their own specific Jira service desk, and how these are all connected to allow us to manage complex business processes right across the organisation. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you can see that Jira Service Management is delivering an enterprise-level solution that is the same and in areas better than ServiceNow. Overlay that with the fact that Jira is significantly cheaper, and it presents a compelling case to consider Jira as your next service management solution. Thanks for joining, and feel free to download our comparison report, which you can get using the link below.